Why is accreditation reform needed? College accreditation began as a voluntary means to advise American institutions of higher education on best practices. It also signaled to prospective students and their parents that the accredited school offered a quality education. Its presence in the world of academia was minimal, but this light touch ended with the passage of the 1965 Higher Education Act. The new law changed accreditors' roles by making them the gatekeepers for higher education's federal funding. That is, institutional accreditation began to be required for schools to participate in student financial aid programs or to receive federal research grants. There are currently 6 institutional agencies. Until recently, institutions were assigned to accreditors by location. Colleges and universities could not choose a different accreditor, even if their regional agency proved unsatisfactory. This permitted the agencies to put excessive demands on schools, driving up costs and forcing the imposition of politically inspired policies. Former University of Florida President John V. Lombardi noted, "Accreditors blackmail us. If they say your Department of Astrophysics needs 12 spaceships and you only have 10, you had better get the other 2. If institutions wish to receive federal funding, they must be accredited by the U.S. Department of Education. This gives the accrediting agencies powerful incentives to promote policies favored by the federal education bureaucracy, and reduces the advantage of allowing states to serve their constituents' specific geographic needs." Malcolm Gillis, former Rice University president, noted, "The accreditors are not interested in what or how the students learn, but how many square feet of classroom space we have per student." Few schools are actually punished for their subpar academic performance, even those with terrible graduation rates, admission standards, and professional exam scores. One problem is that the accrediting agencies shy away from basing their analysis on what is really important, an institution's outputs, how much students learn, and how well they are prepared to enter the workplace, and instead focus on inputs such as expenditure per student or the long-standing reputations of peer institutions. According to a Harvard Business School study of over 31,000 accreditor actions that occurred between 2012 and 2021, only 2.7% were ones in which an accreditor disciplined or sanctioned a college for inadequate student outcomes or low-quality academic programming. Instead, the overwhelming number of accreditor sanctions are for financial problems. Still, sanctioning is rare. Most schools stay accredited as long as they submit to the accreditor's mandates, jump through the required hoops, and pay the fees to keep the accreditors in business. Programmatic accreditation also needs reform. While it is intended to ensure the quality and rigor of specific academic programs, programmatic accreditation can impose significant disadvantages for both students and universities. For students, the process often leads to increased tuition and fees as programs pass along the cost associated with maintaining accreditation. Additionally, the rigid requirements set may limit program flexibility, making it harder for institutions to innovate and adapt curricula to meet evolving industry needs. Accreditation bodies sometimes enforce outdated standards that may not align with current educational practices or employer expectations, thereby constraining universities' ability to modernize and compete. Fortunately, in 2020, the U.S. Department of Education under Betsy DeVos relaxed requirements that schools submit to specific regional accreditors and allowed them to choose their own. This made possible the potential for serious reform. The Martin Center recommends that legislatures, university boards, and state education regulatory bodies take steps to give states and institutions more autonomy. Other policy recommendations must be addressed at the federal level. Universities should explore ending requirements that schools accredit individual programs unless those programs are subject to licensure demands, such as nursing, accounting, law, and so on. Policymakers should allow colleges and universities the ability to choose their accreditors. This will introduce competition and eliminate cartel-like behavior on the part of the accrediting agencies. Enact a law preventing accreditors from imposing mandates that violate state law. Encourage states to develop their own accrediting organizations. Thank you for watching. To learn more about our blueprints for reform, click the link below or visit our website at jamesgmartin.center.